What's up? It's your boy Scott Free, repping the City Takers movement, and you in the field with the Trackstarz.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. What's good?
All right, for all things Trackstarz, make sure you visit trackstarswithaz.com. Follow us on Instagram, like the Facebook page, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, all at Trackstarz.
We got SO in the building. What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
How you doing,
man?
Good, man. Like I was telling you guys, before we went on air, I'm alive, so that's always a good thing when you're in a pandemic.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's always a good thing when you're in a pandemic.
Yeah.
So this is actually the first time we've talked to you as Trackstarz. I actually met you in Chicago at Legacy.
Well,
real briefly, you were riding one of them little.
Wow, that's funny.
What do they call them things? A little foot Segway things. Yeah,
before they made them illegal to fly on planes.
Yeah, so that was real briefly, but yeah, we haven't had you on yet, man. So it's a pleasure to have you finally, man.
Yes, yeah, sir. Man. Yes, it's definitely an honor to be on Trackstarz. I'm a fan. I chime in, I listen when I can, when your videos kind of like pull up, you guys are talking about, 6ix9ine or the academic stuff.
Crazy stuff.
So I'm there, I'm paying attention. So yeah, man, appreciate, I think first of all, I think it's just without saying, like, super appreciative of supporting music that hopes to elevate Jesus, so any platform that does that, I want to, from the bottom of my heart, just say thank you, because that's the music that I make. That's the music that I want to see elevated, and I want Christ to be supreme. So, people like Trackstarz or you guys, what you're doing is never taken for granted. Even though sometimes you may feel like it is, let's put it like that. Even though sometimes you may feel like it is, just know that it's never taken for granted. And even if, and this is like a random tangent, even if on earth you don't feel like you'll get your just due, your just reward, just know that God is the one who's gonna like reward you in eternity. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I always kind of think about that, like, because sometimes, like, the little guy, that you guys are little guys, because I'm sure your numbers are amazing. But sometimes, like, the little guy in comparison to, like, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. Sometimes a little guy may feel like, well, like, I don't feel like I'm getting, but it's like, God's going to reward people in heaven for what they're doing. And so you guys keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep elevating, keep pushing the culture, and keep, just keep on keeping Christ at the center and all that good stuff.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's dope.
So
I've never met you guys, so I might as well just encourage you.
Yeah, I mean, there it is.
Thank you for
exhortation. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, Jeremiah.
So, man, just start us from the beginning, man. I mean, you first time in the field, man. Let's hear your story, man. Let's start it from, it maybe started prior to So It Begins. I know about So It Begins. So you start from right there and how you got with Lamp Mode and everything like that?
Yeah, so I think for me, my first kind of like ever project was a project called the Five Solas Mixtape.
Okay.
It came out in 2010. Basically, I was just like taking other people's beats, other Christian artists' beats, and I was rapping over them. I had like one or two original songs on there, but like I was doing that. And then in that year, I met Josh, who's the owner of Lamp Mode, whose other name is SO as well, but he spells it ESSO. And so he was in London. Long story short, we were meant to do a project together, which never actually happened for some reason. I don't know why. But then as we were kind of talking, as we were building, just kind of like figuring out if our hearts align, and even if our mission and hearts align, it was like, yeah, they do. So he kind of, from then on, it was like, yo, we want you to come and be a part of Lamp Mode and what we have going on. Initially, I actually said no, not because of anything from their part, but it was more so me. Like, I didn't know if music was something that I wanted to do as a career, as a vocation. I didn't know if I wanted to, like, I was scared. I was like, man, you guys are going to invest all this money into me. Like, what if I don't make the money back? Yeah, like, oh my gosh, like, is it am I going to be in the red forever? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so just kind of having those like honest conversations, even at like 21, it's been 10 years. That's crazy. Even at like 21. And so Josh and other people just kind of like reassured me, let me know like, okay, this is our business model. This is what we do over here. And so I signed in 2011, released So It Begins, then released So It Continues, So It Ends, singles, EPs, and Augustine's Legacy last year. So that's kind of like and then, you know, within that time, I was living in London. Obviously, I'm originally from Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria. I was raised in Nigeria till I was 9. And then I moved to London when I was 9 with my family. And so after that, it kind of became very apparent to me once the music started taking traction that the majority of my audience were in America. And so I was coming in and out of the States for like 3 years, maybe. It felt like a very long time, really. Really like way longer than that, to be honest. But like properly, like 3 months in the US, 3 months in the UK, 3 months. I was just doing a nonsense. It was just nonsense. And so it just became apparent like, okay, you have to move. And so that door opened where I was able to get my visa, all of that good stuff. And so I've been here since 2016 with my wife.
Wow.
Yeah. Now we have an American baby.
You'll be president one day, huh?
Oh, no.
So let's talk about these new videos, man. I'm gonna fast forward all the way to the end real quick because these videos are amazing. Please explain the vision behind these. The last two that just came out. One 9 months ago, one recently. Talk about these two because the vision is amazing.
Yeah. So I think for me, like it's just about like how can we elevate like visually, Christians elevating visuals, like Christian art being elevated. I think for the longest time we've just been comfortable. Not even just Christian hip hop, but just hip hop culture generally has just been comfortable saying, okay, who's got a DSLR? You know what I mean? Who's got a Canon 5D or whatever it is? Stick on a nice lens in there, put on a nice filter in there on Adobe Premiere Pro, and just go. I think what we want to do, and you know, like myself, is generally like speaking is like I'm trying to find ways to create visuals that rightly represent the music that's being heard. Right. So there's no point in me talking about head raps because I'm just rapping in front of the camera like, yo, I love it. Like that's not really how it works here.
Right. So, yeah.
Like Augustine's Legacy to me, like a lot of it was like visual, was more like linked into like Afrocentricness visually. And so I wanted that to be kind of part of the theme as well. So it's just about elevating and also about like brand partnerships. And so if you look at, for example, Head Rap Diaries, we partnered with a brand called Fan Jam, and Paula, the owner of Fan Jam, who actually paid for the whole video. You know what I mean? So she directed it, all of that stuff. And, you know, it was a partnership in the sense of like, yo, here's this song that hopefully speaks not only to Christians, but to non-believers as well. And as soon as she heard it, she understood exactly what it was. She knew that she had a head wrap company that could also benefit from it. And so it just made sense to do that. And I wanted to make sure that we displayed Black women of all shades and colors, all ages, as something that's important to me now as a father with a daughter.
Yeah,
so I want my child to be able to see herself, not just hear daddy say, you matter, you're valuable, but I want her to see that she matters. And I want, you know what I mean? Like I just wanted to create something that was maybe opposite of what hip hop does. There's no booty shaking. There's no, I mean, like, there's no like half naked women, just, you know what I mean? Like, but it's tasteful, it's elegant, it's women, and hopefully like Christian women and non-Christian women can see themselves peripherally how God wants them to be seen. So I want to elevate visuals. You know what I mean? And it costs money, but I wanted
it was an amazing display, and it really and when I saw the older lady show up on the screen, like that's when you really see the foot, not just shades, but generations of music. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So you've got my wife in there, my daughter in there, the older lady, like there's so much, like Africans, Haitians, African Americans, all in the video coming around this idea of womanhood as something that is valuable, as something that is important, and as something that should be shed light on, not in a negative, but actually in a positive way. So
now talk about goals. What went into that one?
Oh man. So again, I think you know, I think we were just trying, like, in my mind, right? Like, I'm like, yo, okay, you haven't dropped the album in maybe like a long time. You've been dropping songs, EPs, so on and so forth. But it's about, okay, like, what hasn't been done? What can you do within your budget? Because I think if people see these videos, they think, oh, it's cause this boy is spending like 10 grand or something like that. But it's really about pulling in favors and then partnering with people that also share your vision.
Yeah.
So if you like that whole box was built that same day.
Wow.
And the 3 different looks built that same. So like, there's a level of like, okay, cool, you're indie, you're independent, you're part of this like small independent record label, but you want to create music. Because I think for the longest time, right, Christian hip hop has been like, we want to create music that's on par with mainstream hip hop. And I think we've done that.
Yeah.
But now, can we create visuals that's on par with mainstream hip hop? Not in the sense that we want to challenge them. It's like, no, we just want to create visuals that we're proud of. Yeah. That we can feel like, this can be played anywhere.
Yeah.
This is good art. And so, like, as somebody who, again, like Joshua Wan, who is the owner, but also like a director of the majority of my videos, him and I partnered on goals, and it was his idea to be like, yo, why don't we do this or we do that? And so sometimes like me as the artist, I just want to give them free reign to be like, yo, this is my idea. This is what I have. Can you run with it? Can you run with it and then see what comes of it? And so goals, we were just trying to be like, yo, I had the idea of doing like being puppets, like, and that being the whole video, like us being puppets. And then Josh was like, I don't know if we can afford that. Maybe we, maybe we could do this. Yeah. I said, that's perfect. Run it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so we were able to do that. I mean,
that's so how is it like, man? Like using how do you get the response from people who may see these videos and be like, this is beautiful and like this is amazing, and then on the other side is people like, well, is he more Afrocentric than he's Christian? Or do you ever feel those type of response too?
Yeah, I do, but you know, it's like I'm black, I'm Nigerian.
Yeah,
you know, like it's going to come out. It's going to come out. Even if we read the text, we see Paul's Judaic culture coming out of him, right? Like he's talking a lot about like I was a this of this, I was a that of that. Like he's not saying that's not important to him. That's just not his primary identity. Mm-hmm. Like being a Nigerian is not my primary identity. Being a child of God is, but it doesn't mean that I get to shy away from like those Afrocentric. And the truth of the matter is, I just want to bring that to the forefront.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because of a misrepresentation.
Yeah.
So if everyone, like I had a conversation with someone like, yo, people think that wearing head wrap before head wraps, like women wearing head wraps, is like, oh my gosh, like look at you, like you African booty scratcher, like why are you, like, you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that has been a theme.
Yeah,
it's been a theme, but it's like, okay, cool, like who's going to change that narrative, or are we going to allow that narrative to continue?
Yeah,
because we feel like we can't do anything about it. When in actuality, we can say no. I'm going to create content that leans this way, because for the longest time, and you guys know, like we were creating content that leaned very Eurocentric, like it was just super leaning.
Yeah.
But that's not me. You know, like I kind of came to a point where it's like, that's not me. Like when I grow up, which I'm grown up now, but when my child grows up, do I want her to be like, oh, your dad really like was trying to be white? Or do I want to be like, nah, your dad was proud of where he came from?
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Do I want her to be like, oh, dad, dad, who are we? Like, where did we, you know, like, because a part, and this is, you know, this a very sidebar, but a part of like African-American cultural issues is being plucked from a place and then not having no direct link.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you man can't tell me what tribe you're from West Africa. Like, you can't tell me that. I don't want that to be lost for my child.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to create content that shows that to her. You know what I'm saying? And so it's less about like, you know, other people saying, if people listen to the music, they know I'm still Christian.
Yeah.
Like if they saw like how I'm serving in my local church, they know I'm still Christian. If they saw the disciples that we're trying to make, they know that we're still Christian. So like the music, unfortunately, is the only thing that people see. So they assume you're one way.
Yeah.
When in reality, just come and see my life on a day-to-day. I'll answer your question.
Yeah. So what about the White Jesus song? Like, what was the meaning? Like, yo, that needs to be a single. That needs to be. I need to address that.
Hey, at first I was like, yo, should we release it as a first single? Like, what should we do? And they were like, nah, you want to save it, blah, 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 blah. I actually wish we released that as the first single, straight like that. I wish we did that. Because obviously, like, you never know, like, how is it going to be received? Are people going to cancel you?
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen? You know, are people even going to support it? Or are they going to be scared to support it because they don't want to lose their own followers? And so I think for me, with that song specifically, it was one, I would say that song is, from the day it was released, was over a year old.
Wow.
So I've been sitting on White Jesus for the longest time. Like, I could have released that as soon as I made it. Like, I was like, yo, I could just go. But it was like, nah, let's just sit. The time ain't right yet. You know, my time hasn't come for that song. And so I think, it was conversations that I was having with people. It was seeing some of the leniencies, like some of the way things were leaning towards like church history. And as somebody who's actually studied theology in college, like just seeing how Christianity has been whitewashed in a lot of ways. And wanted to speak to that like quite aggressively without sugarcoating things. And so, you know, when you're having conversations with people and they tell you that, you know, man, I used to hate my skin color because I thought the devil was black and Jesus was white. Then I'm like, yo, at that point, it's like, what are we saying? And so, like, as somebody who cares about history, as somebody who cares about biblical truth, as somebody who cares about Jesus being shown in the right light, of course I want to speak on those things. You know what I'm saying? Of course I want to like write about that. And also I want the visuals to display that. You know what I'm saying? Which hopefully it did, you know, with the burning cross and the slave and the white hands like over you. It's like there is without argument like a whitewashing of Christianity. Like there is that. And so why can't we speak on that regardless of color? You know what I'm saying? Irrespective of if it's a black man saying it or a white woman or Hispanic, like why can't we say Jesus wasn't white? Like why does that do something to you internally? Like it's just like that says a lot in my opinion. So
yeah. And so can you talk to us about the culture of Christian hip hop, CHH, where it is right now, and how you see it? Do you feel like it's strayed away from theology?
It depends, man. Like so let me say like this. Yes and no.
Okay.
Because if you watching this want didactic lyrical theology Christian hip hop, you can still find it right now. Being made in 2020, you can still find it. The issue is you don't want to find it. You know what I'm saying? And you would rather complain that there isn't that.
Yeah.
When in actuality, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta go on Spotify. Boop, 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 boop. Boom. It's right there. It's okay. So I will say no in that sense, because it's still being made. The difference is it's not as prevalent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yeah. Do you think it's a reason why it's not prevalent? Do you think that
Sure. I think obviously, like, it's always, music will always go wherever the top people go.
Yeah.
Right? So Drake comes into the scene, biggest artist in the world for 10 years, more emotive, more slower songs, this, that, more singy. Guess where hip hop is right now?
Yeah.
Everything like that.
Yeah.
Christian hip hop.
Yeah.
Top guys, nameless, top guys, whoever you think they are, top guys, less theology in their music. Still Christian, by the way, still Christian, less theology in their music, more vibes, kind of where hip hop is. So of course it's gonna be that. And so I think that we're just seeing, like, because when cross movement were at the top of everything, everybody was trying to make that kind of music.
Yeah.
For the most part. Obviously you had your infringement folks who were not, like, on the other side, but now the pendulum is swung over there. My wish was that there was a balance of both, where the lyrical theology guy can still win, the non-lyrical theology guy can still win, and it doesn't feel as though one guy is saying what I'm doing is right and what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I think the question is, do you think that, like, even with those different people doing those different types of styles of music, do you feel like it was ever, like, I always felt like the mainstream, whatever was going on in mainstream at that time is needed for Christian hip hop. And what I mean by that is, like, when cross movement was popping, like Wu-Tang, Jay-Z,
Yeah, exactly.
like that East Coast sound one was popping, and then the theology of East Coast sound was popping,
Popping too, yeah.
which is Papa Center, Nation of Islam. That was popping at the time. Right now, you have what we talk about this on our show all the time. We feel like it's a lot of young and mainstream. We feel like it's a lot of young church kids who've been in church before and strayed away and now doing music. So they know about the gospel. They just fell away from it. So we feel like, and we see that, but then also the music of the time is reflecting of what's going on with the artist. So, like, right now, the artists right now are talking about, like you said, vibes, getting drunk, turning up with lean, turning up whatever. And right now we have artists, we have a handful of artists that could speak to that from a biblical perspective.
Yeah, I think that is absolutely right.
Yeah.
I guess my thing is, what about the guy who doesn't want to make vibes?
Yeah.
Because if you look at hip hop, or if you look at mainstream hip hop, Kendrick Lamar is not the vibey kind of artist.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Him and Cole, yeah.
Him and Cole are not like Cole and Middle Child is a little bit vibey.
Yeah.
A little bit vibey. But I guess let me even take them out of the equation. Take a group like Griselda. I don't know if you ever heard of Griselda.
Yeah, Griselda.
Griselda, a very boom bap hip hop 90s era Wu-Tang. Yo, shun that kind of nonsense, right?
Yeah.
Still, they are, quote unquote, at least on the radar of mainstream.
They are, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Drake is shouting them out. Jay-Z's in the studio, head nodding, like
Eminem giving them a sign.
Eminem is signed. They're signed to Eminem.
Yeah.
I'm saying, so, like, in mainstream, Drake, Cole, Kendrick, those are the three biggest Christian. Those are the three biggest artists.
Not yet.
Still, a Griselda can still thrive. They can still make money, do shows, sell albums, stream. That's this, that, and that. I think what's happened over on our side is that it feels as though that can't happen, which it can. I do want to tell artists, if you feel like that's your bent, make that.
Yeah.
If you feel like you want to make boom bap 90s, like make that, like, but make it dope, like make it like, but also just speak to your audience. Like Jay-Z's not trying to talk to a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Like he's not.
But the thing about that is he's okay with it. A lot of us are not okay with like, yo, why does such and such?
But he also has a head start. What do you do if you're brand new trying to do that?
Boy, ask Griselda. Just to me, like I don't get how they are where they are.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
But they are where they are.
Yeah.
I do get how they are where they are. No, I take it back. They were consistent.
Yeah.
Very consistent. Them men dropping 3 albums a year. Some of them.
Yeah.
Like visuals. And they just carved their own niche. Yeah. That's it. Like you just have to be.
But
isn't it true though? Isn't it true though that there are gatekeepers that are still, they remember those times and they personally like that better? So isn't it like the Ebros and the Eminems and the Jay-Z's are kind of nostalgic for it, that want to help bring it back? Isn't that part of it too?
Yes, but they were already moving without them, I guess is what I was saying.
True.
And if we want to bring it back to Christian hip hop, there are people within our context that still appreciate that kind of sound.
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean us. Like, well,
exactly.
2 out of the 3 of us.
And you would want to prop it up and be like, nah, check this out. It's dope. It's swaggy. I'm not saying like come and hit me with because I think another reason why like music, Christian hip hop got less lyrical theology, broadly speaking, is because of the access to theology now. So you think back in the day, there wasn't that much access to quote unquote sound doctrine, like from an urban perspective.
Right. Yeah.
That just wasn't regular.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cats started to get exposed to sound doctrine, whatever we think that is. Started planting churches. The need for lyrical theology in a discipleship sense, I don't need it anymore. I can just go to my church. My church is there for me to do that. Yeah. And so that's one of the reasons why I also feel like outside of like mainstream being what it is and so on and so forth, people just kind of be like, they don't really need that no more.
Wow.
You know, that's just me. That's me. That's, you know, because I think everybody, even the guys, myself included, who say that we are Christian hip hop, our music is gone, like in terms of like, you know what I mean? It's just gone. Yeah, we're not the same. We're not saying Latin words.
What are you saying? Say it. I want to hear what you say. Are you saying that even the Lambo guys have kind of
me? About me.
I just want to hear it. So you've even changed a little bit over time.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. I would say I'm more Proverbs now than I am Romans.
No, that's real. No, because you got records that are bangers that is maybe just for your wife. Like, and
but you've always done that though. Even before you were married, you were doing that.
But still, it's like people just forgot. Like this guy. I've been making songs for the girls for long. Like,
it worked. You know what I'm saying?
You know, how you know this way? Like, I see on YouTube. SO needs to stop making songs for his wife. But then people forget that I made a whole breakup album. Where like a part of it was like, you did me dirty. Like, so there's a part of me where I feel like, I need to erase that.
Yeah.
Like, in as much as I made all these negative songs, here's positives. Here's a million of those. Yeah. I want to write as much as I can. So I want to say even, you know, like even me, like I think about like Boast or like London Nights. I'm like, you know, good. Yo, but is it like, will like someone hear it and be like, yo, you are discipling me through that song? No,
What's the reason?
Fine.
What's the reason for the change, you would say?
Well, I would say for me, it's like I'm just trying to find more practical ways. It's when you start to get outside more.
Yes, yeah.
When you start to get outside more and start to do actual underground talking to people, discipleship, one-on-one, you realize that they don't necessarily need to hear Latin.
And they don't know what you're talking about anyway.
They don't have a clue.
Yeah.
We're just impressing each other with some of that stuff.
They don't have a clue, bro. They don't give two hoots, bro. Like, they don't. Like, it doesn't mean that. I mean, when someone said one time, like, yo, before you enter the university of what's this thing that we believe about, like, perseverance of the saints? It's like, yo, just graduate from faith, bro. Just graduate from faith.
Yeah.
Like, just give me that first before you try to hit me with like the mage, the big three. Like, it's like, just understand the fundamentals.
And honestly, the truth is the answer to who's right and who's wrong is you should be able to do both. There's moments where you're speaking to other Christians that need to go a little bit deeper, or you're dealing with people who aren't Christian, but they know the Bible really well. So you got to be able to go really deep with them. Hebrew Israelites, 5%ers, blah, blah, blah. But then there are people who are just lay people. They're just living life, and they are as deep into this stuff as all of us can be. So you need to be able to speak plainly and just tell them, why is this true? Why does this matter to me? And if you can't do both, I think you need to dig deeper into one or the other.
And it's also about understanding the culture, right? Like I remember, like, Cross Movement's motto was the children of Issachar understood the culture and knew what to do.
Yes.
Right. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We understand the culture, which is why our songs now have a certain time limit, which is why, like, we structure our songs the way we do, which is why, like, we know we understand the culture, where it's like we are still creating Christian content that can be given to someone and can still spark a fire in them.
Yeah,
and I go, oh, what is this?
I think what Jeremiah said was key, and I think that's a really good point, Jeremiah. I didn't think about that. Is the people who are crying about, it not being the same. The culture you came in was created out of culture. It wasn't like the late 90s East Coast hip hop was just pure Christianity. We were borrowing largely from what was going on at that time. So don't get upset with people who are borrowing from what's going on at this time.
If you're getting upset by that, just dry your eyes, bro. No, on a serious note, or do something about it.
Yeah, show them how to do it better.
Because that's one of my frustrations, right? Like, we would rather just complain. Just do something about it.
Yeah.
Like, where's your content?
Yeah. Or where's your advice? Reach out behind the scenes.
Where's your this? Like, don't just sit at home on your Twitter fingers, like, be like, this new Christian hip hop is rubbish back in my day. Nah, go do something about it.
Very good.
Not to sound harsh, but
nah, very good. So tell them what's coming next. Like, what are you working on now? I personally think you need to sit on these videos for a little while. Everybody needs to see these, in my opinion. But what are you thinking ahead now? What are you doing?
I have a live album that's currently being mixed and mastered. So I did a concert in London in February. So, like, that's being worked on. Post quarantine, I would love to go back and shoot more videos from the album.
Oh,
but
you definitely.
I know we're still working. Because sometimes I think what happens also within music is we just kind of, like, we're so quick to, like, move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
That we don't spend time really, like, pushing what we've created. And so, Head Wrap Diaries is doing good. We want to continue pushing that into, like, some of, like, the Black hair, women, BT, that world. And so, thankfully it's gonna really, correct me if I'm wrong at some point. It's going to be on Essence on Monday.
Wow.
Oh, man.
That's pretty major.
Yeah.
We're going to keep on pushing that, because I do think, like you said, man, people need to see the visuals, like, people just need to see it. Like, and, we spent a lot of time making these things, and so we want to do that. But obviously, live album coming before the end of the year.
You know what I want to see? I was just so impressed by the Head Wrap Diaries visuals. I would love to see something scripted. Like I want to see a film or a TV show or something with that visual content. You know, like I mean, there's different things similar, but like I would love to see that. Like that, it looked so good to me.
Yeah, I think Head Wrap is the funny thing about that song is I didn't like it when I first made it. I was like, a song about head wraps. Who wants to hear this? Who wants to hear this? And then it wasn't until one of my wife was saying it, my friend came like, nah, bro, trust me, I could see this song in movies where like in black. I was like, yo, can you really? Yeah. Kind of friend guy, okay. And then thankfully Paola and so hopefully we'll be able to like get those connections to sync it and stuff like that. Because I think we just need to champion music that we feel like we want to hear.
Yes.
As Black people, like specifically, because sometimes we would just complain. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they're making music that's so Eurocentric. But then you got like artists who are making music that's very pro-Black, but crickets. I think like a Ari Lennox, for example. You know what I mean? Like who, like in most of her videos, if not all, like predominantly Black women, like celebrating Black culture. So I would love to see, like you were saying, Sean, like in some of those things. So yeah, we're gonna keep pushing them, but always new music. We had 2 tours canceled this year, so. Who knows what will happen.
Well, we're praying for y'all, man, because we know as soon as this came down, we thought about all you guys and all the grind that you guys are normally on getting shut down. So we're definitely praying for you guys. We're trying to come up with things. We're talking with a couple people to maybe do some like conferences and things like that, online stuff. So yes, stay tuned, man. We definitely would love to have you involved in all that.
Oh, I'm there, man. I'm there.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, man. All right, so we don't want to keep you, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you so much, man.
Go check out the music. At least watch the videos, man. I'm telling you. Anybody knows me. I love visuals and all that kind of stuff. So I was thoroughly impressed by these.
Thank you, man. Thank you, bro.
Me too.
We're trying.
Tell them how to find you.
Just go on everything, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, SO the Kid, SOTHEKID, or just search on Spotify, Apple Music, S.O. and you'll see.
Awesome, man. All right, you in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.